Good morning. This is Richard Peter, the founding member of the Glorious National Party, its political director, and now its candidate for the presidency of the United States in 2012. Barack Obama, the President of the United States, promised us change. The Democrats who ran and won in this recent election promised us change. I want you to go to your wallet and pull out a $1 bill and read what it says on there. It says note. A note is an instrument of debt. When you bought your home, you signed a note going into debt to pay the bank back. If you didn't pay the bank back, they came and they took your house. It's just very simple. Open your wallet, take out a dollar bill, and read that it is a note. And whenever you borrow something from somebody, let's say you borrow $20 from your neighbor, you don't pay them back in gold and silver, you pay them back in debt. You give them another $20 bill, which is a note. It's absolutely insane. If you pay back a debt, the common understanding is to pay back the debt in gold or in silver, not in another debt. Do you see the insanity of all of this? Barack Obama and the Democrats campaigned on change, and yet they never mentioned that they were going to come out and put the Federal Reserve out of business, or at least put it under the Department of Treasury. That's one of the key planks of the Glorious National Party platform. That is, we're going to put the Federal Reserve under the Department of Treasury, and we're going to create a new United States currency backed in part by gold, 10 to 30%, so that the American people can have honest money. Now, have you noticed that there, out of all the members of Congress, over 500 of them, there's only one, Ron Paul, down in Houston, Texas, that advocates the abolition of the Federal Reserve? Isn't that unusual? Doesn't that tell you that the international banking cartel and the Federal Reserve are so powerful in this country that they can actually prevent everyone in the House of Representatives from raising their voice and calling for a congressional investigation of the Federal Reserve? Why hasn't there been a congressional investigation of the Federal Reserve? It's because the Federal Reserve and the media that are controlled by the international banks would destroy any politician's career if they came up against them. Ron Paul either is a courageous man or a foolish man, depending on how you look at it, but he saw this. And he sits on the banking committee, but he can't get anybody to agree with him or to walk with him. Kennedy, our beloved President Kennedy, saw the truth, and they killed him. The banking cartel killed him. There's no secret about that, no conspiracy. He interfered with their business by wanting to restore the American economy to honest money. Abraham Lincoln wanted to do the same thing, a bullet in the head. I'm the candidate of the Glorious National Party for President of the United States. The first thing I'm going to do, the very first thing I'm going to do, whether they execute me or not, is to give my life, my fortune, and my sacred honor to the restoral of honest money to every single American, every man, every woman, every boy, and every girl. I'm going down very shortly to the federal courthouse, and I'm going to file a lawsuit in the federal court here in Dallas, Texas, against the Federal Reserve. It is unconstitutional. It does not operate according to the laws of the Constitution, and I can prove it. I don't need a lawyer to do it. I'm going to put together my indictment against the Federal Reserve in plain English. I'll probably write it in 7th grade English, and I'm going to go down and pay the few $100s and file it myself. It'll be heard, and then it'll get all the way up to the Supreme Court of the United States. And then we're going to have a test. The Supreme Court has the unique right to decide which cases it will hear and which cases it won't hear. They make that decision on the basis of since there's a limited amount of time each term, the 9 justices of the Supreme Court say, well, we can only take those cases that affect the national interest. Is there no case that affects the national interest more than the theft of our currency from us by the Federal Reserve? I would say that affects every man, every woman, every boy, and every girl. But I'm going to say we've got a 50-50 chance, folks. A 50-50 chance that they'll even hear the case. The reason is they're appointed by politicians, by presidents, who are in bed with the international banking cartel. And Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States, who campaigned on change, lied to the American people. He said, it's our time now. We're going to make changes. He is a convenient, empty suit, a useful idiot that either directly or indirectly works for the international and national banking cartels. This monopoly that creates monopoly money. And he did not want to change that. He didn't campaign on that change. What he did was campaign on this, and I'm going to give you the theme song. The theme song of the Barack Obama administration, folks. It goes like this. You can have whatever you like. You can have whatever you like. Our new President Obama and his lovely wife Michelle recently had Stevie Wonder into the White House, and they were dancing and singing and drinking champagne and having a ball, passing out medals. And I like Stevie Wonder. I think he's a great artist, okay? But the whole basis of the Democratic Party and its new leader, Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States, is you can have whatever you like. Hogwash. You can't have whatever you like. You can only have what you can afford. And what you can afford should be what you work for and pay for by your blood, by your sweat, by your tears, by your productivity. Now, I want to share again what the American presidents have done, with the exception of John Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln, with those and others that I could name, is they have sold their souls to the international banking cartel so they can walk around in the White House and fly the big jet and look like real important men. That's what they're doing, folks, okay? They want to be president and have all the power and prestige of the presidency, but they don't want to actually deliver you any real service. The best thing a courageous president would do would be to abolish the Federal Reserve and return this nation to some measure of a gold standard. 10 to 30% is what the Glorious National Party recommends. And I promise you, if you elect me and the other members of our party to the presidency and and have me appoint from members of our party those that understand what money really is, that we will, as my first act as your new president, abolish the Federal Reserve and return this nation to real honest money backed by gold and silver. That is the only real change that this country can ever have. I will abolish fractional banking, the ability of banks to create money out of thin air, money that they haven't gotten out and farmed for or fried hamburgers for or built highways for. They sit there in their three-piece suits, folks. They print this money out and then make you put up your hard assets, your cars and your houses. And if you don't, they foreclose on you. Now, what I need is your support. There's a witty invention on the internet called www.GloriousNationalParty.ws. That's www. A very witty invention. I want you to enjoy it. I'm going to use this money. First of all, take out radio ads, and then we're going to have meetings all throughout the country. I need your help. Please join www.GloriousNationalParty.ws. Glorious is spelled GLORIOUS. www.GloriousNationalParty.ws. If you have any questions, please give me a call. I'll put this on the broadcast today so that you'll be able to join this party and finance it so that together we can take back this country from the international banking cartels that our new president works for. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.